Good morning, dear students. In this video, I will be discussing the solution of question number 18 from the topic triple integrals from the chapter multiple integrals. So, our question is, let D be the region bounded by the parabola Z is equal to 8 minus x square minus y square and Z equal to x square plus y square. Write 6 different triple integrals for the volume of D. Evaluate one of them. Now here first let us see what is our region D. So it is mentioned that D is the region bounded by the paraboloids Z is equal to x minus 8 minus x square minus y square and Z is equal to x square plus y square. So D is basically region bounded by the paraboloids. We know what is a paraboloid. Paraboloids means the 3 dimension of a parabola. Parabola, we know this is a parabola, what type of parabola, and 3 dimension of this parabola, that is our paraboloid. And we know we can take example of half semicircle or half egg. We can see the surface of the half egg. We can see it is an example of paraboloids. Now there are two different paraboloids given here, right? So we have to sketch this parabola by using these two equations. The first one is Z equal to 8 minus x square minus y square, and the second is Z equal to x square plus y square. So here for the main part is, here we have to find the volume of our region D. So we know the formula to find the volume. V is equal to triple integral dz dy dx, or triple integral dz dx dy, or triple integral dy dz dx, or triple integral dy dx dz, or there are 6 different, we can arrange this dz dy dx in 6 different ways. So there are 6 different formulas to find the volume of D. So here in this solution I will be discussing the solution of the formula V is equal to triple integral dz dy dx. So I will be using only this formula and I will be evaluating the volume by using this formula. We can use all the formulas and we can evaluate it, but so the remaining part is left to you itself to do. So in this solution I will be finding the volume by this formula, triple integral dz dy dx. So first let us see what is our region here. So first we have to properly see what is our region here. So it is mentioned that it is a paraboloid. So we can identify a paraboloid from the equation whenever we can see that on one side it is x square plus y square and the other side is z to the power 1. So whenever we are having an equation in which the degree of x and y are 2 and degree of z is 1. So whenever in a formula we have the degree of x and y as 2 and the degree of z as 1, we can say that it is an equation of a paraboloid. Similarly, here also we can see that the second equation also, here the degree of x is 2, degree of y is 2, degree of z is 1. So whenever we are having that an equation in 3 variables and any 2 variable has degree 2 and another variable has degree 1, in that case that is an equation of a paraboloid. So first we have to identify that what is our equation, whether it is a plane or a paraboloid or any other surfaces. So here we can see that here the degree of x is 2 and the degree of y x and y is 2 and degree of z is 1. And here also the degree of x and y is 2 and the degree of z is 1. So these two are equations of paraboloid. And we have to find the volume of the region D. So when we are saying that the bounds are paraboloid, that means one paraboloid will be like this and the another paraboloid will be like this, and the region between these two paraboloids, right? We have to find the volume of this region. Whenever we are saying that a region is bounded by two paraboloids, that means that one of the parabola is up in the upward direction, another is in the opposite direction, and then the region that is contained and bounded by these two paraboloid, that is the particular region for which we have to find the volume. So now we have to find which paraboloid is in the upward direction and which paraboloid is in the downward direction. So to see that which paraboloid is in the upward direction, which paraboloid is in the downward direction, for that we always have to do a particular way. Like whenever you are given a paraboloid, you have to consider x square plus y square equal to. So from here, if we consider x square plus y square equal to, we have to arrange in such a way that x square plus y square is in one side of the equation and all the other is in the other side. So if we are arranging this equation, simplifying this equation in such a way that x square plus y square is in one side and all the remaining on the other side, we get here x square plus y square is equal to 8 minus z. So from this equation we can have x square plus y square equal to 8 minus z. Similarly, on the same way, here also we can say, we can already see that x square plus y square is already in one side. So it is already in a particular form that we want. So we can arrange in such a way that x square plus y square is in one side and all the other on the other side. So after making in such a form, here we get that x square plus y square equal to 8 minus z, and here x square plus y square equal to z. So one of the paraboloid is in the upward direction and one of the paraboloid is in the downward direction. So to identify which parabola is in the upward direction and which is in the downward direction, we have to see the coefficient of z. When we are arranging this in the form x square plus y square equal to form, we have to identify what is the coefficient in that equation. What is the coefficient of z in that equation? So from here we get x square plus y square equal to 8 minus z. So we get from here the coefficient of z is minus 1. And here the coefficient of z is plus 1. And here from here we get the coefficient of z is minus 1. So whenever the coefficient is a negative value, coefficient of z is negative, we can say that our paraboloid is downwards. When the coefficient of z is in positive, then we can say that our paraboloid is in upward direction. And when the paraboloid is in downward direction, the coefficient of z will be negative in that case. So here we can say the first equation, z equal to 8 minus x square minus y square. From here we get that we see that our paraboloid, the coefficient is negative. Here the coefficient of z is negative. So we get that our paraboloid will be in the negative direction. Okay, so this is our paraboloid. So from the second equation, z equal to x square plus y square, we get that here the coefficient of z is positive. So a paraboloid will be of this particular form. A paraboloid is of this form. So this is our paraboloid z equal to x square plus y square, and this is our paraboloid z equal to 8 minus x square minus y square. So the region bounded by these two is our D. Now our motive is to find the volume of this D. So we know that when in case of a three-dimensional space, how we will be finding the volume. So the first step for this is, first we have to clearly identify what is our region. So we have already identified our region. So this particular area is our region. Now secondly, Now secondly, we have to find the volume. So what is the method to find the volume here? Here I am considering this equation, v is equal to triple integral dz dy dx. So in this case, first we have to find the limit of z, then y and x. So first we have to find the limit of z. So to find the limit of z, what is our first step to find the limit of z, y and x in this triple integral? So to find the limit of z, the very first step is we will be drawing a line parallel to z passing through our region, and we call it as M. Now observing this line M passing through this region, we will be finding the limit of z. So we will be observing this M. We see that this is our region, and we see that this region enters this line enters this region at this point and leaves this region at this point. So observing these 2 points, we will be finding the limit of z. So first let us see the initial value of z here. So we know that this point is a point of this paraboloid. So this paraboloid, equation of this paraboloid is z is equal to x square plus y square. So at this point, the value of z is z equal to x square plus y square. And at this point, the value of z is, we know that this point is a part of the paraboloid z is equal to 8 minus x square minus y square. So at this point, the value of z is z equal to 8 minus x square minus y square. So we get the limit of z as z is equal to x square plus y square to 8 minus x square minus y square. Now we have to find the limit of integration for y and x. So to find the integration for the remaining 2 variables, what is our next step? So here we have to note one thing, that whenever you are having that a region is bounded by 2 paraboloids, then the projection of the region D bounded by these 2 paraboloid will be equal to the intersection of these 2 paraboloid. So we can see that this is our region. So first paraboloid this, another paraboloid is, first paraboloid is this, another paraboloid is this. So the intersection of these 2 paraboloid will be a circle. So this circle will be the intersection of these 2 paraboloids. So this intersection of these 2 paraboloids will be the equation of on the xy plane. So we know that first we had to find the limit of z. Now we have to find the limit of y and z. So we know our method is to find y and z, we have to project this region on the xy plane. Projecting a region on the xy plane means what? We will consider our region and we will find the shadow of this region on the xy plane. So here we can see that our paraboloid is already on the xy plane, right? So the shadow is nothing but this region, the common region between these two paraboloids. So the common, whenever we are having a question to find the volume bounded by 2 paraboloids, then to find the limit of the remaining variable, always we have to find the intersection of these 2 paraboloids. The intersection of these 2 paraboloids will be the shadow of the projection of this region on the xy plane. So always understand, so we will be directly finding the region of common region of intersection. Region of intersection means the common region of these two paraboloid will be basically a circle, right? That is the common region between these two. And that is going to be the shadow of this region. We know that we can just observe it. We can simply take like this region is of this form. This region is of this form. So obviously we can see that if we put a torch from the top, then we are getting a image on the bottom that will be a circle with this width. Okay, so certainly this is the maximum width. So that is going to be the shadow. This circle is going to be the shadow on the xy plane. So projecting on the xy plane is nothing but it is the shadow on of that region on the xy plane. So here this particular circle with the interior is our region that is to be considered to find the limits of x and y. So now we have got the shadow of shadow of this region on the xy plane. So the shadow is nothing but this circle. So let us closely observe this circle to find the limit of x and y in this region. So now to find the limits of x and y for we consider this particular region of common region, the region of integration of these two paraboloid. So we have to now find the region of integration. So how do you usually found the point of integration? Suppose there are two, we can see that here there are two equations. One equation is this, that is z x square plus y, sorry, z is equal to 8 minus x square minus y square. Another paraboloid is this. So here the equation is z equal to x square plus y square. So we can see that intersection, point of intersection has got some equation. How do we get the point of intersection? We get point of intersection between two equation by solving these two. Solving these two equations, we get the point of intersection, that is a circle with an interior. So we have to find what is that point of intersection. So to find the point of intersection, we will solve these two equations. So our first equation is 8 minus x square minus y square equal to z, and here it is x square plus y square equal to z. Solving means we can see that on both the equation left side it is z. So if we put the value of z here from this equation, we get x square plus y square equal to 8 minus x square plus y square. So simplifying, we get that x square plus y square equal to 4. So we get the point of intersection of these two paraboloids. The point of intersection of these two paraboloids is this, and it is given as x square plus y square equal to 4. This is our point of intersection. That means point of intersection of the paraboloid is the same as the projection of this particular D on the xy plane. So always remember that whenever you are given a region bounded by two paraboloids, to find the limits of x and y, that means to find the limits of the last two coordinates, we have to always find the intersection. So to find the intersection, you have to solve the two paraboloid equation. So to solve the two paraboloid equation, you will be considering putting the value of z here in this equation, or you're putting this equation here. So solving this, will be getting x square plus y square equal to 4. So this is the shadow of the D on the xy plane. Now by using this shadow and studying on this, we will be finding the limits of x and y. Now first we have to see that, so properly we have to sketch this region for a close observation. So this region I have zoomed in and drawn in this way to closely observe this region. So here I can see that, so here we can see that it is a circle. X square plus y square equal to 4 means it is a circle centered at the origin And what is the radius? Radius is 2 square, that is 2. Radius is 2. Centered at the origin means here it is a three-dimensional space. So we can say that this point is 2, 0, 0. Radius is 2. So 2, 0, 0. Here also we can see x-axis. This is our y-axis. Here it is 0, 2, 0. So this is the opposite of x-axis. So it is minus 2, 0, 0. Opposite of y-axis it is 0, minus 2, 0. So actually we don't need the negative points, but positive is enough to find the remaining. So this is our region of intersection of our paraboloids, and this is the shadow of the region D on the xy plane. So first we have to see that we have to find the limit of variable y. Now next, after z, we have to find the limit of variable y here. So to find the limit of variable y, we draw a line parallel to y. This is our y. We draw a line parallel to y and we denote it as L. Now observing this particular line, we will be finding the limit of y and x now. So first we have to see that we have to observe this line L, and the line entering point and exiting point will determine the limits of y. So we see that this is positive axis, this is positive axis. So now we observe this line L and find the limit of y. So we see that this line enters this region first at this point, passes through this region and exits at this point. So these 2 points will determine the limit of y here. So what is the value of y at this point? This is a point on the circle x square plus y square equal to 4. So for x square plus y square equal to 4 means we have to find the value of y here. So when we find the value of y, we get y is equal to plus or minus root of 4 minus x square. So from here we get y is equal to plus or minus root of 4 minus x square. So we are getting two values of y, that is plus root 4 minus x square and minus root 4 minus x square. And we know that this is our origin, and this direction the value of y is negative. So the negative value of y will be here. Y is equal to minus root of y minus x square. Okay. So here this is positive y, this is negative y. So here obviously the point of value of y will be negative. Y is equal to minus root of 4 minus x square. And now we have to see what is the value of y here. So again we know that this is a point on our circle x square plus y square equal to 4. And from this equation we have the value of y is plus or minus root of y 4 minus x square. And plus or minus means we know that here it is the positive y-axis. So we can say that the value of y is y in this particular axis it is positive. So here the value of y will be plus root of 4 minus x square. So we get the limit of y from minus root of 4 minus x square to plus root of 4 minus x square. So we have found the limit of y as minus root of 4 minus x square to plus root of 4 minus x square. Now we have to find the limit of x here. So to find the limit of x ന്റെ ലിമിറ്റ് ഫൈൻഡ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് we have to see that this line, ഈ ലൈനിനെ ഒബ്സർവ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് തന്നെയാണ് ന്റെ ലിമിറ്റ് ഫൈൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. എങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യും? We have to see that this line, ഈ ലൈൻ ഏത് പോയിന്റിൽ നിന്ന് ഏത് പോയിന്റിലേക്ക് ഷിഫ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴാണ് ഈ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് റീജിയനെ കവർ ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്ന് നോക്കണം. അപ്പം we know that this line, ഈ ലൈൻ നമ്മൾ ഈ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് റീജിയനെ കവർ ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ this line should be shifted from this point to ഈ പോയിന്റിൽ നിന്ന് ഈ പോയിന്റ് ഒരു ഷിഫ്റ്റ് ചെയ്താൽ മാത്രമേ ഈ L എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ലൈൻ ഈ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് റീജിയനെ കവർ ചെയ്യത്തുള്ളൂ. So we see that at this point the value of x is minus 2. At this point the value of x is 2. So the limit of x is from minus 2 to 2. So now we get all the values of the variables, limits of integration. We get the limit of z, y and x. Now we have to substitute in our formula. We have a formula v is equal to triple integral dz dy dx. Now first we will be putting the limit of z minus 2 to it is x from minus 2 to 2. The limit of y is from minus root 4 minus x square plus root 4 minus x square. The limit of z is from x square plus y square to 8 minus x square minus y square. Now first, now we will be evaluating this triple integral. So first here we can see that we have to integrate this integral with respect to z. So we get integral x square plus y square to 8 minus x square minus y square dz is z, and putting the upper limit minus lower limit, we get 8 minus x square minus y square minus x square minus y square dy dx. So in the next step, now we have to integrate this with respect to first let us simplify this. Simplifying this, we get that integral minus 2 to 2 integral minus root 4 minus x square to plus root 4 minus x square 8 minus 2x square minus 2y square dy dx. So in the next step, we will be integrating this with respect to y. So integrating this with respect to y is, we will be integrating in this, and the lower limit is minus root of 4 minus x square. The upper limit is plus root of 4 minus x square dx. So in the next step, we will be putting the limit of upper limit and lower limit for the variable y. So we get integral minus 2 to 2 8 into root of 4 minus x square minus 2x square into root of 4 minus x square minus 2 by 3 4 minus x square to the power 3 by 2 plus putting the lower limit, we get plus 8 into root of 4 minus x square minus 2x square root of 4 minus x square minus 2 by 3 4 minus x square to the power 3 by 2 dx. Now we will be simplifying this. Simplifying, we get as integral minus 2 to 2 16 root of 4 minus 6. We will be simplifying so we are simplifying this. So finally simplifying, we get this form, that is minus 2 to 2 4 into 4 minus x square to the power 3 by 2 minus 4 by 3 into 4 minus x square to the power 3 by 2 dx. So here we can see that here 4 minus x square 3 by 2 and 4 minus x square 3 by 3 is common. We can take this outside. So here in the next step, so the remaining is 4 minus 4 by 3. We will simplify this. After simplifying, we get 12 minus 4 by 3, and we will be getting this 4. So here 8 by 3 is constant, we can take outside. We get 8 by 3 into integral minus 2 to 2 4 minus x square to the power 3 by 2 dx. So now, so we get 8 by 3 into integral minus 2 to 2 4 minus x square to the power 3 by 2 dx. So this is a very crucial step. So first we have to get this form, and after this, now from here we are having another method. So for directly we cannot evaluate this. So we are using a particular type. So dear friends, please remember that to do the remaining step, you have to study this step very well. Here our substitution is here. So after this particular step, the remaining steps is very particular, and we have to remember this step this is a very important step. So to evaluate this particular single integral, now we have to make some substitutions here. So the substitution is as follows. So here how we are making the substitution. So just observe our integral here. We can see that our integral is 8 by 3 integral minus 2 to 2 4 minus x square 3 by 2 dx. So we are making a substitution. So we have to give the substitution x is equal to 2 into sine u. So the reason to give this substitution is very clear. The idea is that if this is 4 minus x square, right? So we are trying to reduce it in a simplified form. So we are using 1 minus sine square or 1 minus cos square. If it is 1 minus sine square or 1 minus cos square, then we can reduce it into a simpler form. That is our motive here. So suppose if you are given x equal to x equal to sine u, if you are giving x equal to sine u, then here it will be 4 minus sine square u, but still we cannot simplify it, right? So we will be giving the substitution as, because we are getting a 4 here, 4 minus sine square u, that won't be a simplified form. We have to simplify this, and if we are giving x equal to sine or cos, we can see that here it is 4 and 4 minus sine square doesn't make it a simplified form. But we can see that instead of sine, we are putting 2 sine u or 2 sine t. In that case, we can see that 4 minus 2 square sine square t, or 4 minus 2 square sine square u. That means it is 4 minus 4 sine square u. We can take 4 outside, then the remaining will be 1 minus sine square u, and 1 minus sine square u can be written as cos square u. So we always have to remember this substitution. Okay, the substitution is very important. So depending on the question and the coefficient, you have to do it. So our substitution is, put x is equal to 2 sine u, then here it is dx. So to get the substitution for dx, we will be differentiating this with respect to u. We get dx by du is equal to 2 cos u, and from there we get dx is equal to 2 cos u du. So these are our substitution. We will be putting these substitutions in the next step. We get x is equal to 2 sine u. So 4 minus 2 sine u square to the power 3 by 2, and dx is 2 cos u du. Now we have to put the limits as well. When we are giving the substitution, we are together giving the limits also. So when to find the lower limit, when x is equal to minus 2, put the value of minus 2 here. We get minus 2 is equal to, put x equal to minus 2, we get minus 2 is equal to 2 into sine u. So minus 2 and 2 cancel, sine u equal to minus 1, u is equal to minus 5 by 2. So we get the lower limit is minus 5 by 2. Now the upper limit, let's see the upper limit here. Upper limit is 2 here, so put x equal to 2, we get 2 equal to 2 sine u, you get, so u is equal to pi by 2, sine u equal to 1, u equal to pi by 2. So the upper limit is pi by 2. So now we are simplifying it. 8 by 3 into integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, 4 minus 2 sine u square to the power 3 by 2, 2 cos u du. So 8 by 3 into integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Now here we see that it is 2 is there. We take this 2 in the front. So 2 into 4 minus, this is 2 sine u square, that is 4 sine square u to the power 3 by 2 cos u du. Now this is, we are multiplying 2 with 8. 2 into 8 is 16 by 3. Integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. And here we can see that 4 minus 4 sine square u. So that means if we are taking 4 common, we get 4 raised to 3 by 2 into 1 minus sine square raised to 3 by 2. If we take 4 common, and from there the power is 3 by 2, so 4 raised to 3 by 2 into 1 minus sine square 3 by 2 cos u du. So in the next step, we will be simplifying it. 1 minus sine square is cos square u, and 4 into 4 raised to 3 by 2. and 4 can be written as 2 square. So 2 square into 3 by 2. And we get that 2 and 2 cancelled. So 2 cube. 2 cube is, in the next step we'll have 2 cube. So here let us see 1 minus sine square 3 by 2. That is 1 minus sine square is cos square u 3 by 2. And here 3 by 2 and 2 in 2 by 2. So 2 and 2 cancel. So cos cube u. Okay. And here it is cos u du. So we are repeating cos u du. So in the next step, we see that 16 by 3 integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, 2 raised to 3, that is 2 into 2, 8, and cos cube u into cos u du, that is cos raised to 4u du. So now in the next step, it is 16 by 3 into, we take 8 outside, so it is integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 cos raised to 4u du. Now here we can see this is 16 into 8 is 128 by 3 integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 cos raised to 4u du. So now we have to find this integral value, integral minus pi by 2 cos u du. We are separately going to find integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 cos raised to 4 u du. So it is a very interesting simplification, integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 cos raised to 4u du. So we have to find the integral of this. So first we are going to simplify our known formulas.